Okay, let's get right into it. We're looking at a press release that just dropped today, February 9, 2026.
From Bajaj Auto, right?
Exactly. The launch of the WeGo P9018. And our mission today is, to figure out if the specs on this thing are actually a paradigm shift for electric three-wheelers or if it's just marketing noise.
Well, there's one number that suggests it's not just noise.
Oh, it jumps right off the page at you.
Yeah.
A certified range of 296 kilometers.
It's a massive number. I mean, to put that in perspective for you, the industry standard for electric rickshaws has been hovering around, 100 to 120 kilometers?
For a while now, yeah.
So Bajaj hitting nearly 300 isn't just a small update. They're basically tripling the vehicle's operational radius.
Right, but okay, let's play devil's advocate for a minute. To get that kind of range, they've had to shove a 17.7 kilowatt-hour battery in there.
The largest in the segment.
For sure, but that adds a ton of weight. And usually when you add that much mass to an EV, your efficiency it takes a nosedive. So how are they balancing that?
That is the right question to ask. You can't just throw a bigger battery at the problem without, dealing with the physics. The release points to a few things. An upgraded battery management system, regenerative braking.
The usual suspects.
Exactly. But the real engineering unlock here, the thing I think is easy to miss if you're just skimming, is the two-speed transmission.
Okay, hang on. A two-speed gearbox. Most EVs in this form factor use a single-speed gear because it's cheap and simple. Why complicate it?
Because of that weight you just mentioned. An electric motor has a sweet spot for efficiency,
An optimal RPM range.
Precisely. A single gear forces you to compromise. You're either geared for high torque to get moving, or you're geared for top speed. You can't really have both without draining the battery like crazy.
So this two-speed transmission lets the motor stay in that efficient band, whether it's climbing a hill or cruising on a flat road.
That's it, exactly. It optimizes torque delivery.
Yeah.
And that's how they get that 36% greetability figure they're talking about. It's not just, can it climb the hill?
It's can it do it without emptying the battery?
Right. It mitigates the penalty of that heavy battery pack.
That makes a lot of sense. But let's talk about the other trade-off.
Yeah.
Charging time. They don't list a 0 to 100 time here, but physics says filling a 17.7 kilowatt-hour octank takes longer than a 10.
It does.
Doesn't that hurt the driver's uptime, the time they can be on the road making money?
Paradoxically, it might actually help their uptime.
How so?
Well, think about it. If you have a 100-kilometer range, you are forced to stop and charge midday. That's 2, maybe 3 hours of dead time where you aren't earning.
Right. Lost income.
But with 296 kilometers, the vehicle effectively becomes a charge while you sleep asset. You completely eliminate the opportunity cost of daytime charging.
Ah, I see. So the utilization rate goes up even if the total charge cycle is longer, just because that cycle happens when the driver's off the clock.
You got it. And that connects directly to the price point, which is RS4,041,247 ex-showroom.
It's a premium price tag.
It is steep. But Bajaj is betting that the elimination of downtime, plus the ability to take on longer fares, justifies that initial cost.
The total cost of ownership argument.
That's the pitch. Samardeep Suband, he's the president of their intracity business unit, explicitly says this fits urban, semi-urban, and rural markets.
And in a rural setting, the last mile can be 20 or 30 kilometers.
It can, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't service those routes with a short-range EV. This thing opens up inter-village transport, long-haul luggage, things that were pretty much exclusive to diesel or CNG before.
Hence the name, I guess. WeGo.
We the people on the go.
Yeah.
It implies that communal utility, moving people over meaningful distances, not just, short hops.
And coming from Bajaj Auto, I mean, the world's most valuable 2- and 3-wheeler company, this signals a real shift.
It does. And they're backing it with a 5-year warranty.
Yay.
That's them telling the market, we know this is new tech, but we aren't experimenting on you.
So it legitimizes the whole segment, moves it from experimental green tech to industrial workhorse.
It absolutely blurs the line between a city runabout and a real regional transport solution.
Which brings us to a final thought for you to chew on. We've always viewed the 3-wheeler as a strictly intra-city vehicle, but with nearly 300 kilometers of range and a transmission that can handle higher speeds efficiently, are we looking at the beginning of the end for the budget intercity taxi?
That's an interesting question.
Could we see a future where this kind of open-air transport becomes the default for that 50 or 100-kilometer trip between towns?
It's a disruption worth watching. The economics are certainly tilting that way.
Fascinating stuff. Thanks for unpacking this with me.
Anytime.
We'll see you on the next deep dive.